8. Most people think you've got to wait until you're older with a steady job and a big paycheck before you can start investing. They think becoming a millionaire is something that happens at 40, 50, or even later in life. But let me tell you something, they're wrong. If you're a teenager, you're sitting on the biggest opportunity of your life. And most people your age don't even see it. You've got something that no amount of money can buy. Time. And if you use that time the right way, if you start planting the seeds of wealth right now, you can step into your 20s already on the path to millionaire status. See, wealth doesn't just show up one day. It's built brick by brick, choice by choice, dollar by dollar. And the earlier you start making smart choices with money, the bigger your rewards will be down the road. You don't need to be rich to start. You just need to start. Even small amounts invested now can turn into something massive later because of the power of compounding. That's how the game works, but only if you play it early. So today we're going to break it down. I'm going to show you exactly how a teenager can invest, not just in money, but in knowledge, skills, and discipline to create a foundation so strong that millionaire status in your 20s isn't just a dream, it's a destination. When you're young, you might think you don't have much to work with. Maybe you're not earning a full-time income yet. Maybe you're relying on allowance, part-time job, or side hustles. But what you do have is the single most powerful advantage in the world of money, time. And let me tell you, time is far more valuable than money itself when it comes to building wealth. Why? Because of something called compound growth. Let's break it down. Compounding is when your money starts earning money and then that money earns money and it keeps snowballing. It's like planting a tree at first. It's just a seed, small, fragile, barely noticeable, but give it enough time and it grows into a strong tree that produces fruit year after year. If you start planting your financial seeds as a teenager, you're giving them decades to grow. And the difference between starting at 15 versus starting at 25 is enormous. 10 years might not sound like a lot, but in terms of compounding, it could literally be the difference between being comfortable and being wealthy. Imagine this. If you invest just $100 a month starting at age 15 and you keep doing it until you're 25, then stop completely. You never invest another dime. By the time you're 68, you could still have hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on the return rate. Now compare that to someone who waits until 25 to start investing and contributes the same $100 a month all the way until 60. Guess what? You might still have more money than them even though you stopped contributing decades earlier. That's the power of starting early. Time multiplies your money in ways that working harder later in life can never match. Most people underestimate this. They think, oh, I don't have enough money to invest right now, so I'll wait. But that's the trap. Waiting kills your advantage. It's not about how much you invest when you're starting out. It's about getting into the habit early and letting time do the heavy lifting. Even small amounts make a big difference when you start young. A teenager who invests $5 or $10 from each paycheck is doing more for their future than someone who makes big money later but waits to start. And here's another piece of the puzzle. When you're young, your expenses are low. You're not paying a mortgage, raising kids, or dealing with massive bills. That means you can take risks and make mistakes without it destroying your financial future. This is the perfect time to experiment, to learn, and to set habits that will last a lifetime. Starting early also forces you to develop discipline. When you decide as a teenager to save and invest, instead of spending every dollar on clothes, food, or entertainment, you're training yourself to think long term. That mindset, delaying gratification, sacrificing now for bigger rewards later, is exactly what separates the wealthy from the broke. Millionaires aren't just people with money. 8. They're people who learned how to manage money when it was small. So if you're a teenager, Don't underestimate your position. Don't buy into the lie that investing is for adults. Investing is for anyone who wants a better future. And if you start now, the 48, you're not just ahead, you're decades ahead. You'll be building wealth while your friends are still figuring out how to save. You'll be watching your money work for you while others are only learning what compounding even means. Remember this, it's not about starting big, it's about starting early. Every dollar invested today is worth way more than a dollar invested 10 years from now. So start planting your seeds right now, because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll harvest. The second key to building wealth as a teenager is learning how to invest in yourself before you even think about stocks, real estate, or business. At the 48, because let's be real, your biggest asset right now isn't the money you've got in your pocket. It's the skills you develop, the knowledge you gain, and the habits you build. If you want to become a millionaire in your 20s, you need to first become the kind of person who can attract and manage wealth. And that starts with putting time and effort into yourself. Think about it this way, the money you earn will only grow as much as you grow. If you're limited in your skills, your mindset, and your discipline, then your income will be limited too. But if you spend your teenage years learning skills that are valuable in the marketplace, coding, marketing, sales, communication, investing itself, you'll open doors to opportunities that most people your age can't even see. 8. That's why the smartest investment you can make as a teenager isn't in stocks, it's in your own development. Now, let's talk about education. 8. I'm not just talking about school. School will teach you a lot of things, but it won't necessarily teach you how money works, how to build wealth. 8. Or how to think like an entrepreneur. That's something you've got to take into your own hands. Start reading books about personal finance, investing psychology, and self-discipline. Study people who have already walked the path you want to take. You can learn more about success from a 20-day book or a free podcast than some people learn in years of expensive education. And the best part, knowledge compounds just like money does. Every skill you learn, every piece of wisdom you apply, builds on top of what you already know. Another way to invest in yourself is through experience. Don't wait for the perfect job or the perfect business idea. Start small. Do internships. Take up side hustles, sell products online, work at local businesses. Every experience teaches you something, and the lessons you learn at 16 or 17 can save you from massive mistakes at 25. Think of your teenage years as your training ground. You're building the foundation for the millionaire lifestyle you want in your 20s. But here's something most people overlook. Your habits are investments too. The way you handle 10 will be the way you handle 10 Zolos 1000. If you waste small amounts now, 8, you'll waste big amounts later. If you can't discipline yourself to save and invest when you don't have much to 8, you won't suddenly become disciplined when you're making 6 figures. That's why it's crucial to build good habits early. Learn to budget, track your spending, and resist unnecessary purchases. Learn to delay gratification, to say no today so you can say yes tomorrow. These are the habits that separate the broke from the wealthy. 8. And let's not forget about your environment. The people you surround yourself with are either lifting you higher or dragging you down. If all your friends are wasting money, skipping opportunities and living for the moment, guess what you'll end up doing? The same thing. 8. Who? But if you put yourself around people who think big, who talk about ideas and growth, who push you to level up, you'll start thinking and acting differently. That's also an investment. Choosing the right influences. At the end of the day, investing in yourself is about preparing for the opportunities that will come your way. Because trust me, opportunities will come, but only those who are prepared can grab them and run with them. When you've built skills, knowledge, discipline, the Q8, and the right mindset, you're not just waiting for wealth, you're ready to create it. And that's how you set yourself apart as a teenager who's serious about becoming a millionaire in your 20s. The third key to building wealth as a teenager is understanding the power of compound interest and long-term investing. Most teenagers underestimate just how much of an advantage they have when it comes to time. And time, when combined with consistent investing, is the single greatest wealth building tool you'll ever have. Let's break it down. Compound interest is simple in concept, but life-changing in practice. It's when the money you invest earns returns, and then those returns start earning returns of their own. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, small at first, but growing bigger and faster the longer it rolls. And here's the truth. The earlier you start, the bigger that snowball becomes by the time you're in your 20s or 30s. Imagine two people. One starts investing $100 a month at age 15, and the other starts at 25. Both stop investing at 35. The person who started at 15 will end up with far more money by retirement, even though they invested the exact same amount, simply because their money had more time to compound. That's the kind of advantage you, as a teenager, have right now. Most people don't realize it until it's too late. But if you start today, you're setting yourself up for massive success. Now, you don't need thousands of dollars to get started. With apps and platforms available today, you can begin with just a small amount. The key isn't how much you start with, it's building the habit of consistent investing. Even if it's 10 or 20 a week, that small seed grows over time, and once you see your money working for you, your mindset starts to shift. You stop thinking about money as something you only earn, and you start seeing it as something that can multiply itself. That's how the wealthy think. The next part is choosing the right investments. As a teenager, you don't need to chase risky trends or gamble on quick profits. You want to focus on assets that grow steadily over time, things like index funds, ETFs, or even blue chip stocks. These are proven vehicles for building wealth because they follow the growth of the economy. While your friends are spending all their cash on the latest gadgets or nights out, you'll be quietly building a portfolio that compounds year after year. And let's be clear, this isn't about getting rich overnight. The get rich quick mindset is what keeps most people broke. True wealth is about patience, consistency, and discipline. When you understand compound interest, you stop looking for shortcuts and instead play the long game. You realize that every dollar you invest today is like hiring a little worker who never sleeps, who's out there multiplying your wealth while you focus on learning, growing, and living your life. Another important point is reinvesting your earnings. When your investments start paying you dividends or interest, don't spend it, reinvest it. That's how compounding accelerates. The more you put back in, the faster the snowball grows. Think of it as building an army of money that works for you. The bigger the army, the less you'll ever have to work for money in the future. The beauty of starting young is that you don't have to be perfect. You have time to learn, make mistakes, and adjust. Even if you pick the wrong stock or the market dips, you've still got decades ahead for your money to recover and grow. That's a luxury most older investors don't have. So here's the bottom line. As a teenager, your dollar is more powerful than the dollar of a 30-year-old because your dollar has more years to grow. If you understand this, if you commit to consistent investing and let time do the heavy lifting, millionaire status in your 20s is not just possible, it's highly likely. The fourth key to becoming a millionaire in your 20s isn't just about money, it's about investing in yourself. You can pour money into stocks, real estate, or businesses, but the best investment you'll ever make is in your own skills, knowledge, and mindset. Because the truth is, no matter how much money you earn, if you don't know how to manage it, grow it, or make smart decisions with it, you'll lose it just as fast. Wealth follows wisdom. As a teenager, your mind is a sponge. You've got the ability to absorb new ideas, learn faster, and adapt quicker than most adults who are already stuck in their ways. That's your secret weapon. Use these years not just to stack money, but to sharpen your skills. Read books on money, business, psychology, and personal growth. 8. Every book you pick up adds to the way you think, and the way you think determines the choices you make. Rich people don't think like broke people, and the difference is often in the mindset they built through learning. Now, let's talk about skills. We live in a digital world where opportunities are everywhere. Coding, video editing, social media management, e-commerce, copywriting. These are skills you can learn for free or for very little money online. And once you have those skills, you can monetize them. You can build side hustles, start businesses, or provide services that bring in income streams outside of a traditional job. And here's the kicker. 8, the income you generate from your skills can then be funneled into your investments, which multiplies your wealth even faster. But it's not just about technical skills. It's also about financial literacy. You need to learn how to budget, how to save, how to avoid debt traps. 8, and how to make money work for you instead of against you. Too many young people get caught up in spending everything they earn just to look rich. But the ones who truly get ahead are the ones who focus on actually becoming rich. When you understand how money flows, you stop being controlled by it and start controlling it. Another part of investing in yourself is building the right habits. Wealth isn't built on one big decision, it's built on the small daily choices you make. Do you spend 50 on something you don't need? Or do you put that into your investment account? Do you waste hours scrolling on social media? Or do you spend that time learning a new skill that could bring you income? Millionaires are created not just by opportunity, but by discipline. And discipline is something you can train yourself to build right now. 8, and don't underestimate the power of your environment. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, not those who drag you down. If all your friends are spending recklessly, chances are you will too. But if you connect with mentors, communities, and peers who value growth, you'll naturally adopt those habits as well. Your network can either keep you average or help you level up. Finally, the most important aspect of investing in yourself is your mindset. You've got to believe that becoming a millionaire in your 20s is possible. If you think small, you'll act small and you'll get small results. But if you set big goals, back them with action, and refuse to quit, the path becomes real. Self-belief is the foundation that holds everything else together. So here's the truth: money invested in yourself will always bring the highest returns. The skills you gain, the habits you build, and the mindset you strengthen will continue to pay you for the rest of your life. Combine that with financial investments, and you're not just chasing wealth, you're creating it. That's how you, as a teenager, can walk into your 20s, not just with money in your account, but with the wisdom and confidence to keep it growing for a lifetime.